Rumors of some huge news coming on Tuesday. I don't know if it's a announcement of an announcement, some Justin Sun stuff here, but it's getting crazy. We'll see what happens here. Bitcoin pumping back above 113,000 with this news. Things getting pretty crazy. Did you bother, Dan? What happened? What happened to Bitcoin? Everything was going well until it took a massive dump Sunday into Monday. That volatility. Shout out to everyone that made gains. I saw people shorting in the trading group. I saw some big wins. God bless you all. That's absolutely amazing. This tie is yellow, but it's going to be see-through. This is pretty cool. Look, I could do this. You can't see me. Anyway, shout out to everybody here. This is a beautiful Versace tie, too, that if you could see the actual tie, Versace, man. But anyway, who cares? It was given to me by my sister's boyfriend. So I did, you know what I mean? It was a beautiful present. Shout out to Tony. Shout out to Michelle. God bless you. Thank you. It's the coolest birthday present I ever got. I was in Miami at the time, and I got a Miami tie. I mean, it's pretty cool. I'd actually like to show you the real tie. I feel like I can. Hold on one second here. I got to show you the tie, if I can, which means I have to just take off something here. And then we're going to get into Bitcoin so fast, so furiously, I promise. Look at the tie. I mean, the tie's amazing. Look at that thing. It's a nice tie. It's got this big Cadillac on it, too. It's got a Cadillac on it, man. Like, it's a Versace tie with a Cadillac. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. Anyway, God bless you all. Thank you so much for being here. Let's break it down. Let me get back in to where we're at. Shout out to everyone here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Let's show you Bitcoin, 113,115 doing damage. And we're in the background here in the studio. Not. All right. Forcibly pushing us through the stream. Tommy, you're one more time with that board, man. I'm telling you. Don't do it again with those fingers, man. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. So Bitcoin struggling to hold 113,000. Got a bit of a punch, but is it really sustainable? We still have a bunch of red above us, but man, you can see kind of the close liquidity really dried up. And when you zoom in here, there is a lot of liquidity below us, all the way down to 100,000. Right there, look at $105,000, $108,000 BTC. So there's liquidity below us waiting to take us down, down, down. There is a big red there at about 116.5. But man, Bitcoin is struggling as we speak here on BOOKMAP. That is a liquidity map showing us it's a heat map, basically, right? It's showing us the darkest areas, basically similar to if you were looking at infrared goggles, right? Dark red, you'd be like, oh my gosh, that's not good, or that's a lot of liquidity, or that's a lot of people, right? That's where the enemy is. So a lot of something is dark red. So if there's a lot of people on the board on the bottom, or a lot of people on the board on the top, they're going to be dark red. Understand? This makes sense, right? Yes. So right there, and sometimes it's super accurate. The last week, it got scanned. It kind of lost, I'll be honest, it lost accuracy. There wasn't enough information on the board to give us what we needed. And, we didn't even, I had expected way more volatility when Jerome Powell came out, and we didn't even get that. So it's been a very, very interesting time, to say the least. Okay? And man, I wish this whole ensemble came out the right way with the colors, but what are you going to do? It is what it is. I think it's still cool. I remembered this about that chroma key. Anyway, so still dark red, though, above us. I mean, I don't know. Still telling us, hey, we're going to go up to 116.7. This is just to induce some shorts. I couldn't place it. Let's take a look at BTC on the bigger time frame and see what's happening. Looking at Bard on this double bottom. Lombard. What's up with Bod? Bad. I call it like in Boston accent. Hey, Bad, are you trading bad over there? Bad. Bard. Bad. Nah, it's Bard. Bad. Bard. Bad. Okay, so Bitcoin. Let's take a look at it here. I was looking at it on Binance. That's kind of where I first ever started trading BTC. So Bitcoin, it did bottom here at 112,196. I think it even hit a wick to 111,700, which is a beautiful price if you think about it. We looked at it last night. We saw this descending triangle. If you watched my channel, right, it had the base here suggesting this thing would drop to 112,005. We had this level. I said, if we lose this, it's likely to drop 112.5. We lose that, we're going to 110. And we wicked in the middle, but got back above support and resistance here. And now Bitcoin getting above my signal here, getting above the 200 moving average and making a bit of a flag. And there it is. That is the kind of go-to right there. And it is a Monday, but man, that looks so nice, right? So if I have the time, I feel like I'm about to miss it. Oh my gosh, I have like less than a second here. Haste is waste, though. Always just maintain calm, cool, and collective nature. But like my signal says, that's supposed to blast. And I don't like where we have to sit, though, on a Monday. Could easily come grab us before the pump, though. I'd have to, I'd like to go bigger and keep a deeper stop loss, something like this. So I would say, hey, I got to ride this thing up to about 114,549. And the stop would have to be at 112, like 707, I like 112,697, that earlier one. Again, feeling out the water, so it would only be like 2 for 6 on the morning. I don't like Mondays, but I do like the strategy. I mean, we're touching the 21 above the 200 in a beautiful flag. That is supposed to pump. Like 90% of the time, I'm supposed to win this trade Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And there's volatility, which means there is volume. It's not like trading Friday night, you know what I mean? And it's not like trading, Thursday afternoon here. So we'll see. We'll see. So I just took a live trade. My name's Crypto Lifer Sam Price. I trade the moving averages. I trade, the 200 moving average, the 21-day. I like stochastic slow, right? Let's break down the bigger picture here for Bitcoin. We've already gone over that in the trading group this morning, just so you know. So I'm not blindly taking trades. I have looked at the monthly all the way back down, but let's have some fun here. Let's break it down. Let's look at the big picture for Bitcoin. And remember, every Friday I do the macro technical analysis where you can see the bigger picture for where we may be going on Bitcoin. The NASDAQ, the S&P, and everything in between. Hey, in there like swimwear. Shout out to everybody here on the live. So the monthly, let's take a look at what's happening here on the monthly. So we have about 8-9 more days left, right? We do close on the 30th. No, 31 days, 30 days in September. I fly to Singapore this Sunday. I'm getting the flight heebie-jeebies. And it's going to be crazy. So this could break up all the way to what? $184,870.50. And look, previous resistance becomes support right here too as well. So far, as long as we stay above 104,000, the monthly's good, right? Because you can clearly see there's monthly resistance that became support. You can even say there's a little bit of monthly support right there at about 106,005. So it's not horrible. The bigger time frame still in control. It would be so much better if we got a push for the next week. So maybe some crazy news comes out in 2 days and something happens to this market and we just get an absolute candle boom. Who knows? You never know. There's all this, I don't know why people are doing this, but there's this, again, and I trade the charts. Show me the charts and I'll show you the news. But everyone's, in the crypto space that's on the inside. And I don't have the information, so I'm not on the inside. All right. I'm a self-made guy that made it from the outside, right? I'm still trying to get into the inside. But the whole point is the people on the inside, who know people. The people that know people are telling me that there's something big happening on Tuesday, whether it's going to be a strategic reserve, something for crypto is getting announced by the government, and it's supposed to be huge. So I don't know, we're leaking the sauce here, and we're waiting for it. But again, and I've seen a few sources that are quite credible, but we'll see what happens. We could also be spreading complete nonsense. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? But something's brewing. And we'll see. So we've gotten a bit of a bounce this morning for Bitcoin. Is it sustainable is the question, and we're going to keep going down here. The weekly. Let's take a look at the weekly. Last night's weekly close was absolutely horrible, right? It was disgusting. It was for the bulls. It was great for the bears. Some people made some of their biggest trades, though. So shout out to my traders who made their biggest shorts of their life, or just the biggest trades. Remember, a long is a long, a short is a short. Just learn how to trade. That's what I love about lev trading is you just take advantage of what you can. That's it. But look, that does look to me like a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder that could take you down. The measured move would be something like this, and you'd leave this neckline. That would take you somewhere to $94,000 BTC. I'm not saying we're going there for sure. I can't guarantee a $94,000 Bitcoin, but bang. I mean, so I would like this weekly candle to flip green somehow, some way with a massive wick. Just boom. And really defy the odds here. Otherwise, I mean, we'd have to start looking at this like a bit of a right shoulder here on the weekly. Bit of a tiny little right shoulder that could take us to the downside. That doesn't look amazing. 5-day bearish engulfer, shoulder head, right shoulder in a way too. Same with the 3-day chart, which closed with a tweezer top, you know? And we were all over that. I kept saying, you don't want that tweezer top to close on the 3-day chart, and we got it. So, I mean, wow, right? Almost kind of looks like a bearish retest yet again if you look at it this way, right? So, I'm not going to be, you know, unless we get the bounce, boom, then I'm going to look for 200 moving averages on the 4-hour and all that fun stuff. And then we're going to be back in good graces. So we got to get back above the 200 on the 4-hour time frame. If I remember correctly in my photographic memory, we're just like right below it and hanging. We got to get back above that. So we'll show you all this stuff in a second. Put on the moving averages here now. Here and now. At the time frame on the 3-day chart. Yeah, so, I mean, to me, it's like an ugly inverted head and shoulder, or it's coming back at least to retest this previous resistance at 112,000. Resistance, beautiful breakout. Come for the retest. Get the bounce, right? Pull the 200 up. Get tight again. Get ready and really get tight, and ready for its big move. Looks like it would take till somewhere near Halloween. The Halloween effect. You know what that is, right? The Halloween effect. And that's just like, it's a perfect time to start getting into the charts, and then you like to sell in May and go away. People have done this over and over again. The Halloween effect, the Halloween, I don't know, you know, I call it the Halloween effect or strategy. The Halloween effect, it's right here, right? And said, what is Halloween? It's an annually celebrated holiday. It takes place, blah, blah, blah. What is the indicator? A timing indicator in Ethereum finance. It states there's a seasonal anomaly where stock prices rise more during the winter months compared to the summer months. 100% they do. Every single time. Summer's always tough. You make gains from October to May. I mean, I've seen this time and time again, and I can prove it to you over and over again. We could spend a whole entire day on it. So it just tells you when to trade. Now you're like, okay, I make more time during these months. So I should be more exposed in this month and less exposed 100%. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. Figure this out for yourself. Put 2 and 2 together. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. But this is just chronological stuff that you can figure out on your own if you just sit there with a chart and go over the math. Anyway, let's go to the daily time frame. Not looking amazing. And we talked about this daily. And I said, I said, I don't see a pump coming. I see us going sideways. I said, I wouldn't want to see us viciously come back. I said, this wouldn't be the worst. It would be our cup and handle, right? I said we'd have ourselves a bit of a Sammy cup and handy to the upside. Could still pump us. As long as we, previous resistance becomes support. We lose this, we come down for the double bottom at the very least. And then, maybe we get a double bottom there. But, at the same time, that's starting to look more likely. And then the daily, and then you're starting to hang out with the daily 200, which is, last time we were there was April. May, June, it's so, it just is what it is. We take it one day at a time. And now it's like we're praying on Tuesday news to pump this market. It's getting a bit weird, right? In my humble opinion. So, not the worst, not the best. The only good thing about today is could we start the week bearish to get ourselves a bit of a wick up, right? Just kind of like the daily did here today. Daily's recovering from a massive bottom there. Is that going to sustain? 22 is right on the 200 moving average. We'd like this to close back above that yellow line. A potential tweezer bottom here on the 12-hour. Could be that could be an amazing, that could be a legendary long right there. Something I've been interesting. That's interesting. That's very interesting, right? So this trade's still open. It just went completely sideways. Look at this. This is insanity. Look at that. That's nuts. Like, that's Monday for you. Like, that's absolutely absurd. Like, how much more? Like, that's insane. Sideways. Like, that's just Chop City right there. Sideways. So I'm looking at this trade like, yeah, on the 12-hour, though. So you'd flip over to the 12-hour time frame. You're looking at this here. I mean, that could be a beautiful tweezer bottom on the 12-hour. Entry right now, stop loss below like that wick or this wick. And you just see if you can ride. It's almost kind of similar to that right there, just a deeper stop. I've seen that play out many times. If that, you get to wait for it to close, right? Again, high risk on a Monday morning, trading that right now. But again, it's also a great, you don't get those entries all the time. You know, you don't always get when the 12-hour actually does it, like right there, right there. That's likely, you know, right there was a perfect entry, right there, right there. Almost every time, more than not, it presented a beautiful move to the upside. More than not, it looks like it presented a beautiful move. That looks like we may have hit the daily bottom there as that 12-hour candle. What a nasty candle to the downside, but looks like we may be getting this V-shaped recovery. Let's take a look at the 8-hour. Also getting big. The 4-hour getting back above the 200 moving average. Every time the 4-hour gets above the 200, I like that move. So this could easily V-shape right back to the top here. It would make a lot of sense to me. And just go right into those shorts that we have waiting and back into that $118,000 level. So we took the dump. And are we going to go right back at these shorts? This looks very, very bullish on the 4-hour. 4-hour above the 200. Tweezer bottoms has just been established. New candle closes in an hour and 30 minutes. This is interesting. And we came back from 111.8 for the bounce here for Bitcoin. Very, very interesting. Wow. And now Bitcoin getting a bit of a pump here too, continuing to the upside. Let's take a look at the 1-hour. Honestly, like, I feel like that entry right there is starting to slip away too. Like it just did. I mean, we just went up $200 in a second. Look at that. That's why a lot of times, you know, you see the bigger time frames, the entry is like, it has to be captured pretty fast. So look, we have a bit of an inverted head and shoulder there on the 15-minute time frame. So now you're like the 5-minute goes to, you know, again, and this all started when we, you know, when we got in the, here we go. Now we're up 8%. It's a chance I called this daily bottom here yet again. Can Sammy get the pump? Looks like I'm raising my target to about 115,000, 180. Because it looks like if we get the momentum, we could get the push. We'll see. One candle at a time. You know, look, we got a pump and a dump over here. It looks so beautiful, right? Boom. So the candle broke out. The pattern broke out to the upside. And now we're going to see if we can ride this puppy on a nice, beautiful breakout. Again, this is my model. You know, you're in a beautiful flag on the 21 above the 200. After a momentumous downtrend, you wait for us to cross the 200 moving average. I attack here. And again, I hit here and got stopped out already. So that's how it works, you know. But I attacked the model. And then we'll see. Very sketchy on a Monday. But as I showed you, I mean, it's looking like we're going to get a tweezer, just a recovery right back to the upside. This thing could pump all the way up here. And so we're live trading here on Weeks. And this is how you do it. Bang, bang, bang. Can you feel the energy? Can you feel the movement? Uh-oh, I'm becoming super Weeks man. Oh my gosh, what's happening? It's Mr. Weeks. No, but shout out to Weeks, man. God bless you guys. Can't wait to see you in Singapore. Thank you so much for the jug. Thank you for everything. God bless you guys so much. Appreciate it. Got the Weeks ring, got the Weeks hat, and the jug, baby. Let's go. Making gains on Weeks as we speak. I'm just super excited to go to Singapore. I have like flight anxiety. And so knowing that I'm hanging out with my peoples that I know is going to make me feel better. Man, the flight's going to take forever. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here and sharing your most precious asset with me. And that is your time. I appreciate it. So, and everyone who supports me, this Singapore trip's, I'm excited, but I'm also like, whoa, you know, you're out there in the middle of the ocean, flying out there, you know what I mean? And in this crazy world with so many things going on. And so, you know, may God keep me safe. I want to continue to live such a beautiful life forever, you know, not forever, but for as long as I can here with each and every one of you. I see some bearish divergence. I just got to point this out now. Look, I mean, we got a swing down on the RSI while price swung up. That needed to kind of pump up way more than that and then flag out later on, so it could have crushed through the divvy. Look, it gave it right back now. That's crazy, right? Just move it towards that 200. But yeah, and there's your false move Monday, right? No, we almost had it. Oh, boing. Now, whenever you see that, you got to start thinking, are you going to make shoulders, shoulder, head, shoulder, you know? Shoulder, head, shoulder. Or do you bounce right? I've seen us bounce right out of the pattern yet again. So insane, right? So we'll see. Stop loss below the 200 moving average. Not too much to risk. So we're able to kind of sit pretty and look at Advantis. Is that going to just continue to dump? Or could it bounce back and go sideways? I have an alert here. If it hits it down here, so be it. If it hits it over here, it might be definitely worth a swing trade. So, and there's the bot here and here. Now the bot's underwater. Can it get out? And you're going to see how the bot finds its way through acrobatics and does an amazing job there. I have faith in it every single time. We will see. So right now, a bounce for Bitcoin would be in order. And, you know, we just want to see this bigger time frame just rip all the way back up. This would be pretty cool if we got a shoulder, this head, this right shoulder, and like that, you know what I mean? We start really getting busy. That sends us back above 118,000. So, hey, there's a possibility here that we're getting an entire recovery, not just a little bit. And what does that mean? How does that look like? Well, we have to see the 5-minute break above this 200 moving average. This is going to be the test. So we created this beautiful shoulder, head, shoulder, right? We kind of had a neckline. We broke that. 21 coming up. So now you're like, all right, this has to flag out in some way and somehow get back above this. Like, we got to get this to boom. We got above the 1-minute 200. We need to sustain that. And then we need to get above the 5-minute 200 moving average. These two things have to occur here for us to get the punch that we're looking for. This is it. Every single time. If you can't get above the 200 moving average, you're not getting that move to the upside. You understand? It's just not going to happen. Shout out to everybody in the chat. How we doing in the chat? Keep the chat alive, baby. Keep the chat alive. God bless you all. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Oh my gosh, I just realized, did we not post the stream to the group? My goodness. Shout out to the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for being here. We got so much more to show you and teach you. This weekend was crazy. I hope you watched my video about Advantis and Aster, because if you missed it, man, I'm telling you, there's so much value in there. Hey, Lifer, thanks for coming here today. Can you take a look at EGLD and what are your thoughts long term? You know, it's funny, I still hold some EGLD. It's so crazy. I haven't even remembered that I still hold it. It's like these projects, you hold them for so long, you don't even remember you got it. Shout out to Crypto Billy in the house. Shout out to everybody here. So EGLD, man, that's an oldie but goodie. Let's take a look at EGLD. But shout out to Aster and Advantis, man. What trades we have this weekend made me forget all about this Bitcoin dump. So look, everything dumps with Bitcoin again, including EGLD. It's like whatever, you know. This thing's at the bottom of its barrel, just like every coin in the game. Like all coins are just 80 to 90% of all coins are, you know, if it's not Squeeze, Swoop, you know, SEI or Sol, it's whack. Right? It's like crazy. A couple AI coins and some other hotness here and there, you know, and a decentralized exchange, MyX, right? MyX, Advantis, Aster, and then like, you know, You know, I've given up on this coin. I have to be honest with you. Multiverse X, they changed the name. They've been around since 2017. I had so much faith in it when it first came out. Had that huge pump all the way up to like, what, $560 with hollow chain and all that fun stuff. If you remember, I had to deal with Audi, and it was amazing. There was so much going on. And then this thing just collapsed like the rest of the speculative alt market. So I'll be honest, I mean, it has to get above the daily 200 and do something. But right now, it just, you know, so let's let's go over the logic here. Let's all hope that coins from 2018, 2019 come back from the dead. You know, when there's so much new tech, so much, like the whole world is different than it was now. There's more AI. Like you can make things out of thin air that you couldn't even think about making when this coin first came out. And we have to start really thinking, does that make these coins obsolete? I mean, they have some blockchain use case. They're not completely gone, and maybe they could kind of elevate themselves into AI or something, but they got to recreate themselves, rebrand, do something. I don't know. But EGLD, man, is, you know, and God bless the team and the coin. I mean, I was with them for a long time. I'm just being a realist. We have to look at this, right? Is every single coin that relied on the tech that didn't exist actually going to be able to compete with new coins now? It doesn't make sense. If we're progressive human beings, most of these coins should drop off because they shouldn't be competing with the new ones. We should have new things. Let's be honest. Let's be hard on ourselves as humans. If we're progressive human beings, not every coin's going to be able to continue to come back. Because why? We want the coins that actually have a use case and make it happen to pump. If they're not going to do that, why do we want them around? You see what I'm saying? So alts don't look good to me personally in the big, you know, in the bigger scheme of things. All right. So yeah. So wow, look at Bitcoin in the 5. Nasty rejection going back below 119,000. That will stop me out. Right? And again, like that's just treachery for the day. So there was a beautiful flag. We went sideways. They pumped it, bearish div, and they dumped it. And there I am, right? About to get taken out. And that's why Monday, worst day to trade. And I'll learn my lesson yet again, did not trade Mondays almost every single time. Monday night might be absolutely amazing, and I can't wait. So we'll see what happens there on Monday night, right? 100% amazing insights. We're progressive human beings. Majority of human beings, unfortunately, are not. I mean, you'd hope to be, right? If you're attempting to get somewhere in life or just to find out what the meaning of this whole existence is, I feel like you got to progress through it in some way, shape, or form. Push yourselves to be somebody different, something. Learn every single day, whether it's about yourself, your spouse, your family. Like I learn about my kids every day. They teach me so much about light, my patience, you know what I mean? The ups and downs, the struggles, and the world they're going to inherit too, and what a dad I got to be for them. You know, amen. You know, shout out to Iris Ensing. Can you look at Soul? We'll take a look at Soul. Thank you, Iris. God bless you. Let's go take a look at Soul for you. Sorry about being away from the mic there for a second. NDQ SPX, another day, another E, while crypto goes to zero. Let's take a look at NASDAQ, E-mini futures. Ripping to an all-time high, is it already, right? Is that what's happening here? Did we get a recovery in that trade? No. Oh, so they sniped me. So I opened this trade last night. They sniped me and pumped the thing to a new all-time high. And it looked like it was going to get pumped too. Man, they got me. Bling bong. It's okay. I'm still like something like 24 out of 26 trades. I've won 21 or 20 of them. So I've only lost like 5 or 6 trades. That's amazing though. Look at the NASDAQ just doing damage on the 1 minute time frame. And again, it probably crossed the 200. Look, it made an Adam and Eve. And then that thing was gone. NASDAQ ripping. I mean, it looks like you'd be surprised. Bitcoin might just follow behind, right? So, and if you look at the macro technical analysis, I keep talking about how I just see the NASDAQ continue to pump. They got to print this money. It's got to go somewhere. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's got to go somewhere. Like, where are they going to put it? And we talked about this daily breaking out back here. It talked about how you could just ride the daily all the way up to 26.9. Bang. Just let that thing pump. Not easy to trade the daily. It goes up and down, but look at that thing. And you can go to all my macro videos every Friday. We've been talking about the NASDAQ over and over and over again, just like this. Let's take a look at ES1, the S&P futures, E-mini futures, baby. Same exact story. And I have this printed for you with the stop loss and everything. Telling you, we're going to 69. I said, because if they're printing this money because of the rate cut, it's got to go into the market. It's got to go into the market. And lo and behold, there it is, pumping us to the upside. Discipline is the foundation upon which all success is built. Lack of discipline inevitably leads to failure 100%. It's little by little. You got to do something every single day to push whatever your dream is, whatever your goal is, forward. Some days may not be better. Some days you're going to have huge pushes. Some days you're going to have small wins. But as long as something is going forward, as long as some days you're actually doing something, and you're not getting in trouble, you're not going backwards, you're not adding to the problems, you're just adding to solutions, you're going to make it. You're going to find your way and keep pushing. And then you're going to progress through your mind and ask yourself, what else can I do? What can I do to add to the repertoire? What can I do to push forward? And you'll know what that is, and it'll feel like a struggle. And you're like, man, that's going to be hard for me. And when your mind says it's going to be hard for you, that's when you have to push right into it. Because whatever's hard for you is going to create a reward for you. The universe knows whenever you pierce through difficulty, it can feel it, it can smell it. And it's almost like it knows exactly how hard it is for you and that level of difficulty that you're going to have to do. And it rewards you for that exact moment. It's insane. Someone somehow is watching us. There's a math behind every movement. And somehow we get back almost all the rewards for everything we do. And to me, that's God. That's the universe. There's something alive here that knows when you're on, man, and knows when you're off. And you know when you're on and when you're off. And you're connected because you know. And you can lie to yourself all you want, but that's the truth. So NASDAQ and S&P both doing damage. Insane, right? And Bitcoin just completely struggling at 112,000. Or are they making, it's almost like they're getting it ready, or they're, gearing. I don't know what's going on, man, but dang, man, like liquidity. In my humble opinion, just every time Bitcoin's on the dip, it's a good time to accumulate some BTC. As long as the 1 minute can stay above the 200, maybe we can get a move here. If we lose the 200, as we said before, you're in a bit of a bear flag, and that's just going to continue lower. That measured move takes you to about 110,451 for BTC. And look, I stayed below the 200 moving average. I'm still inside the trade. I'm not out yet. They did not get me yet. I still may win this. You never know. It'd be crazy if I end up winning this trade. They just did a stop hunt and they ripped it back to the upside. 1, 2, boom. So crazy. This trend line might hold. Only time will tell here for BTC. Sammy's still in the trade. Staying alive. Staying alive. Staying alive. Hey, I'm still in the trade, baby. I'm still in the trade. Shout out to everybody here in the chat. Who's in the chat? I want to see if I recognize some of my peoples. Shout out to Chris Apparel. God bless you. Vegas Claw in the house. Thank you. Shout out to Vector Candle. Shout out to Crypto Chris Tradesman. Olaf. Reliable J. Holding it down. Jonathan Morris. Liberty Intrust. Drum Hop. My man Jeremy Cup. Cupping us up. Shout out to Electric Dream 7. Shout out to ICG. Shout out to Heath Martyr. Raj with Crypto. Shout out to Crypto Chris Tradesman again. I love that. And Crypto Princess YT. Okay. Lindsay. Lindsay Linz. God bless you, Lindsay. Thank you for being here. We appreciate that. Wow, so many awesome people here on the stream. Gears. Can you look at Wild? Love the channel. Let's take a look at Wild from JD. See if Bitcoin could bounce here off the 200 moving average, or do we lose that and take a massive dump here on the 1 minute time frame. In Wilder World, right? Which I've held for so long. We finally got that beautiful pump. We got to 60s. Every time this thing pumped, it's been like, oh, wow. No, right? So like kind of a massive cup and handle, and now it's doing like the funky business here. And it looks like it may have to go down low. I got to be honest, this just doesn't look amazing. Looks like you could head back down here to the bottom of this bottom trend line on this falling wedge. Then it could bounce all the way back up here to $76 for wild on the daily. But it looks like a lower, I don't know. You got above the daily 200, then you have this cup and handle. I mean, there's a chance this could be your move. But man, it's looking weird, right? It's not like regular price action that I'm used to. It's back and forth chop, up and down. I'd say, okay, get a bounce here. You got to stay above 22. Got to stay above 22. And I just got to connect these two. I mean, what else can I do there? Chance you can get this bounce. Yeah, it seems like you would head somewhere back to 50. I mean, you're in a flag above the daily 20 and you're getting oversold. The daily 200, you're getting oversold. But, I mean, I also could see that we've hit the top of the channel and we're going to roll right back down to here. So, I'm holding wild from a long time ago. And it just, whatevers, man. It's just sad. Hey, maybe it comes back when the whole market comes back. But we've been saying that forever and it just doesn't seem to want to play ball. But let us get through September. We got the rate hike. We're getting everything we asked for, except for the moves in the altcoins. Yet again, it's kind of crazy, right? So 89% chance they're going to cut the rate again. So now that's going to get baked in. We need a double cut at this point for us to get some action. They have to double cut on us. We have to get an unexpected cut, or they have to do a surprise cut in November, in the middle of the December, October cuts. That's just kind of, something has to give. We can't have the regular old just cut again. It's got to be bigger than that. So, wow, another, attempting some bullish divvy here on the 1 minute and attempting to stay above this 200 to get a bounce. Looked like we were getting the V shape. It all looked somewhat beautiful, but not so fast here, right? Not so fast. All the lifers help and support me in person. I aim to be one positive step at a time. Thank you. God bless you. You will get there. You're already there. With that type of mentality, you're exactly where you need to be. And again, today I thought about today and I said, it was 5 years ago I was on the stream. 3 years ago I was on the stream talking just like I am today. And I said, guys, we need to focus on the future. Anything is possible. And one day we'll look back on this day and realize it was one of many days. And I'll say the same as today. Like, we focus on the future. One day we'll look back on today and realize it's one as many days. 3 years from now, I will be streaming. I will look back on this time. God willing keeps me alive, inshallah. You know what I mean? God willing keeps me alive. And, I think each one of these days adds up to a bigger meaning. What I mean, and if we put so much pressure on every day, I mean, every day is beautiful and important. And it's a gift. But like today's dumping. We could be so bearish today, but something could change in 2 to 3 days. Anything could happen. The key is to stay level-headed and take the market for what it gives you. Some people are in big shorts. Some people made the most money they've ever made in their life today shorting the market. You have to remember, even a tough day for you could be the best day for somebody else. We never know exactly what's going to happen. So if this does break out, I'm just saying that would be your measured move. Doesn't look amazing. I'm not saying we're doing that. That would be the way out. We got to hold this 200 moving average here on the 1 minute time frame. Get some type of wacky bounce here out of this very strange falling wedge. Almost looks to me more like a shoulder, a head and a right shoulder, like a slanted head and shoulder, see? That would break us somewhere down here. Like you got this shoulder, head, right shoulder. I've seen so much of this craziness recently, and it has played out. It actually has played out. Feeling terrible after getting liquidated badly on the dump. So dumb, no stop loss. Less than 4 months trading. Was another $5 for some lifer advice. And again, nothing can be said as financial advice. But, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you, I started trading, and I remember one time I piled into a stock called AEVO when they were just flying on Alaskan Airlines, was flying on corn oil. And I thought I had hit it. Like, no one knew. This was new. And it was $1.24. The news came out, and I bought the news. I didn't understand buy the rumor, sell the news. A bunch of people had been holding that thing underwater. They couldn't wait for that news, and they sold that thing. And then so for weeks later, people just kept selling it. And eventually I was down bad. I was down like, I'd say 6-7 grand. And I was only worth like 40 grand at the time. I eventually had to cut it off. Twice getting back to break even. And a little voice in my head, you know, I worked a night shift at the time. So one time I had to work till like 4 in the morning. And I passed out on the couch. I wake up at like 11 in the morning. The market's ripping. I look at my phone and I'm back to break even, which is 80 cents. And I have all my money back after like 6 or 7 months of being in this thing and battling it and buying it on 40 cents and 50 cents every time I took a dip, buying more to try to balance myself off. And my mind's like, get out, man. This is your chance. Like, this is it. Like, this is your chance. You finally did it. And I'm like, and I like somehow stayed in. It went down again. I battled back. I got it back to break even again, maybe around 80 cents again, almost the exact same price. Maybe it'd been up a little bit at 80. And I remember seeing 80 cents again for the second time in my life. And like, my mind's like, take it now. Like, I still didn't take it. It's so insane. And I would end up cutting it off for $14,000 loss. It was insanity, man. And you know, those losses built me to who I am today. They made me realize that these big fat wins were gonna, you know what I mean? I was always chasing some big fat win. I was gonna have to double, triple up in a month. Turn 15,000 into 40. If I could just turn 15,000 into 45,000 at the end of the month, I would say. If I could just turn 50,000 into 100,000. Eventually my biggest trade would take like 2 years, 2.5 years. And then my bigger trades like BTC would take 8 or 9 years. And then some other trades I was in would take 4 to 5 in 3 years. And, you know, Litecoin swing. I swung Litecoin from $5 up to 100. That took a long time. So I started realizing that the biggest wins were going to take some time. And that, you know, these moments, like these liquidations, these losses, they teach you to, you know, really, really preserve your capital. You know, you look back on how hard you worked for what you lost, and you said, man, I really couldn't afford that loss. It hurts. When I lost about 14,000, almost 15K after fees and everything, and I was only worth 40K, I said, man, 5 more grand, that's half of all my money. And I went, and it took like 2 years. You see what I'm saying? So I had my money tied up for years. It could have been, and I looked at all the investments that went up, all the things that were pumping that I could have been in, and it hurt so bad. I said, man, I could have been in the, oh my, sickened myself. And then I saw how, like, had I put the money in other places, I would have already made a few $100 grand. I would have been out, you know? And then I focused on negativity. I beat myself up, and I had a loop like that. And then I used drugs and alcohol because the pain hurt. And I got myself into a really bad place. So the key is to tell yourself that it's just a loss in one game. See, I let financial losses bring me down emotionally and then bring me down in my life too. Like, I met them kind of ruin me in every place. And that's what that's what I used to do. I used to let losses, you know, kind of triple into other losses. Like, I'd let my girlfriend and me would break up, and then I would trade bad, and then I would also get depressed, and then I would be drinking, and it was like everything would just kind of, I'd use one loss to spiral out of control. That's the beauty of having a workout routine. I really, you know, I went through some tough times. I've gone through some really bad financial ups and downs in my life. I really have. You know, I've hit $1 million and lost it twice. I've had 800 grand and watched it trickle all the way back down to like 80,000. And just like, I had 800,000. I was out of the rat race. Heck, I saw 20,000 turn into 150,000 to come back down to 40, 50,000. You know what I mean? Like, I was out of the rat race so many times in my life, as far as I can, you know, even when I had a very small amount, what felt like would be a larger amount. Look at that dart. They just, right? And right now, I'm definitely more bearish than bullish on Bitcoin. 100% bearish. Unless we get above that 5-minute 200 moving average, which just didn't seem to happen there at all. We didn't even get, you know, that's going to be our first. We're going to have to do that for me to do any type of bullishness here. We're going to have to really get that bounce, right? I'd even take this away. I think that's kind of like a hope and a dream here. Wow, 100, you know, the 800s are important. Let's go over the macro idea here. Let's go like hanging on a thread. So look, the S&P pumping beautifully. The NASDAQ back in action, even though it kind of got me on that morning, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm excited to see the NASDAQ pump on the bigger, you know, and that daily chart just absolutely doing damage. And we talked about this a long time ago. Pump USA looking hot while the rest of the market dumps. Interesting. Pump USDT. We'll take a look at Pump. And so, yeah, let's see here. Where's that daily? Yeah, and this says you're going like, yeah, see, this is your daily chart here. NQ full send. I gave this chart on 9/11, 11 days ago, right? And that thing is just pure full send. Just says, never hit the stop loss, continued to pump. Amazing on the NASDAQ, right? So, like, that's it. That's the trade right there. And you could take, I'm looking at, that thing could go all the way to 27,000. The Tech 100, right? So you could trade that on BTCC. All right, BTCC, which is one of the oldest exchanges in the game, which I don't think people realize, been around since like 2014. And so, and you can trade Apple, Tesla, like it's pretty cool. And here you can trade the NASDAQ at Tech 100. So you could trade everything on top of what you're already doing with crypto, right in the same place. But this is the call right there, as you can clearly see. It was, and we ended up getting this beautiful move to the upside. We flattened it a little bit, right? Like this, but we ended up getting this beautiful move to the upside here. Pretty amazing. That thing ended up doing damage. That was the call. I just want to, that's it right there. You can see. That's it right there. I just love this before and after stuff because so many people's like, they talk a talk, but like, there's your stop and everything, and that thing's in gains. NASDAQ just ripping. And again, like, imagine not having to trade it day by day, just putting in one trade and watching it for 10 days rip. It doesn't have to be that hard, right? So, there's a chance now Bitcoin does get the bounce. Can we stay above the 1 minute 200 moving average? Did they get me again? And watch, it ended up being a pump day. I feel like this thing's going to bounce off the 200 and get a beautiful move. The 1 hour has a tweezer bottom here, showing signs of a bounce. And again, I've been having bigger wins just trading the smaller time frames. I mean, the bigger time frames, staying off the smaller ones the last few days. Last week, really, using the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and getting these types of bounces. But that, I'll be honest, that looks like it could definitely, that could win right there. 2.7 risk reward ratio. Bounce back to the upside. I'm going to trade tonight. Bang, bang, bang. I just considering a BTCC account. It's awesome. I really like BTCC, yeah. Yeah, movers take profit on equities and showcase, yeah. Calm before the storm. We'll see what happens, yeah. I mean, I made $7,000 this week in trading Advantis and you know what I mean, Astaire. So I don't really give a damn about losing a couple $100. You know what I mean? It's not a big deal. Don't worry, buddy. I'll be okay. I'll be okay over here. Calm before the storm. You feel a bounce? I mean, I can't tell you what's going to happen. I know nothing but the fact about ignorance, to be honest. We just, as long as we stay above the 200 moving average on the 1 minute, we can survive. That's all. Once we lose that, this flag will definitely go further to the downside, right? Like, this thing could just dump on us right here. It's like, right now, the more likelihood is we're going to continue down. The bulls have to show you something. They have to pierce, they have to punch. For me, the 5 minute above the 200 moving average. You get one of those, maybe I'll take a long later on. We got to get a move here back above the 5 minute 200 moving average. All right. You remember, I have to lose some trades because people won't get that jealous. If I win every time, people get jealous of me and then they start hating. So if I lose, they go, oh, he loses like I do. And they feel better, And so it makes me more human and less bot-like. So I got to lose on this live stream just for the live stream to survive, because otherwise people will just they'll be like, this guy. Hey, plus you, Sam, for coming back. Yeah. Can you trade on BTCC without a VVS? 100%. Yeah, no problems. Yep. Yeah, God bless you. Amen. Yeah, I'm grateful for all my losses. All my losses have created my wins. I'm so grateful for the losses I just took right now. Press G if you got K9. It's the best is yet to come, friend. Hang tight. God bless everybody here on the live. I convinced myself not to invest in Advantis, and then it skyrocketed. Why would you do that? Short term is volatile. Long term is bullish. Anyway, do whatever makes you happy. As long as you listen to yourself, it doesn't matter, man. You know, just make sure you listen to yourself. And as long as that was your plan and you stuck to it, you're golden. How they wicked me right there, that doesn't make any sense. They're watching me, man. I'm telling you, like, this is insanity. Like, that's nuts. Bing, below the 200 moving average. Like, that's nuts. These guys are a bunch of maniacs. I noticed we are below the 200 on the 12-hour. How long until the 12-hour candle closes? I think at about 8 hours, 9 hours. Sam, what coins besides Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol are you willing to round trip? Nothing. I wouldn't even round trip ETH or Sol. Yeah, only Bitcoin. Sammy Stream on Viver, first streaming platform built on Caspa. Thanks, man. We'll take a look. So look, it's tight here. Look at that. And I'm going to stick to the script. I'm just not going to trade until a Monday night unless I see something so glaringly obvious. I mean, I do. It's above the 200. But I'll let it pass. I don't have to get every single thing. Yeah. Are you flying business to Singapore? Yes, the Q Suites, man. It's going to be crazy. I'm going to be in a little cabin. I'll film it with my GoPro. I got a new GoPro for the trip. I'll film it. I'll show you how it works. We'll have some fun. Yeah. Hopefully you have a great day. God bless you. Shout out to Sean Walker. Thank you for being here, Sean. God bless you, brother. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Can we get the likes up to the watchers? I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for the love every single day that you come here. It's not easy. We battle these markets. And today's been a brutal Monday, man. It feels like a Monday, right? Mondays aren't easy. The weekend comes, we chill, right? It's a slower version of the regular days. Price action is easy. And then bang. You get hit with the Sunday night, Monday night jitters. Look at Hyperliquid. Took all the gains away. We got that pump from Aster and Advantis. Crazy, right? And I do believe there was some, competition there. So we got the pump. I wanted to get to 71, and this was a slow grind. And in the gains we were, but, and still above from where we're at. But, man, so crazy, right? It's like, oh, man, even this coin. But, look, it came back to previous support as resistance. You'd be looking for a bounce here. If it loses this level, then I'd start to say it's going to start a bigger dump, right? I mean, commodities raging, stocks raging, crypto chilling like a villain. Amazing to see. So crazy, right? And gold, we talked about gold. That was going to continue to pump. And I see it's pumping now, but it's eventually going to flag out here. It might even be a smaller flag, and then boom. And I see gold headed all the way to $4,000 an ounce. We called 3,800 way back here. And we gave you this flag. I mean, it's a bull flag with tight moving averages. Above the point of control on the VRVP. We trade this stuff over and over again. Same thing. Day in and day out, right? Gold, baby, gold. Yeah, Bitcoin really struggling, like, for whatever reason, just not able to get back above key levels, melting down a little bit. You have to remember, Bitcoin also pumped hard. At one point was somewhat decoupled. So everything's going to be kind of affected by Bitcoin, even Advantis and Aster. I'd stay away from the market until Bitcoin can find some type of level playing field here. Everything seems to be kind of pushing down, right? Let's take a look at Solana. Even Solana doesn't like this dump here coming from Bitcoin. It's like, eh. And look, Sol was doing absolutely beautiful until last night. Like, it's kind of crazy, right? Like, we had these slow roundups. Everything was building. All coins were beginning to kind of start a pretty nice move here. And then what happened? Either this is just a dip that's presenting itself as an opportunity to buy, and we'd have to get this recovery right back up, turn this into a wick, something here. But wow, 220 all the way back down for Sol, kind of crazy, right? That's you got to see if this thing can bounce back and show itself inside of a bit of a triangle and continue to pump. Today's a crucial day for a bounce by the end of the day. It's really important where the day ends up closing. Yeah. Where do you think silver will go? It's massive. I mean, I like silver, and I've been accumulating silver because I believe it's going to pump. Right now, it's $37 an ounce. I got $1,600. When I make gains in trading, I send them on over here and buy some silver. The KAG token, this represents silver. They also have KAU, which represents gold. This is Kinesis, not money. And they do sponsor the channel. God bless you, Kinesis. Thank you so much. The cool thing about Kinesis is the only place you can digitize, I basically turn your silver or gold into a coin. And then you could buy and sell that coin here on this market for USD, for Velocity token, for Bitcoin, for Ethereum, for Tether. And then you could buy Bitcoin with it. You can even use a card here and earn, right? They have a silver up to 10% on your metalback card. It's pretty awesome. They have many different ways to earn and save. It's really cool. And you can also, say you have gold sitting there and you're just saying, you know what? I've got gold. It's been pumping hard. I got it at, like me, at $800. It's now almost $4,000. I 4X my gold in 10, 20 years. I'd like to buy Bitcoin on the dip with it. Or I'd like, whatever you thought. You can actually buy, you could ship your gold. They'll give you the gold token that represents exactly how much gold you have. And then you can use that buying opportunity or power to do whatever you want. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Maybe you want to hold your gold. I don't know. It's up to you. But where else can you do this? Otherwise, gold's just sitting in the vault collecting dust. So at Kinesis.money, you can put your gold and silver to work, or you can put your crypto back into gold and silver. If you believe gold and silver is going to hold you through, like maybe crypto has a bear market, but gold and silver continue to do damage. Maybe it's a good place to store some of your gains as you're getting out of crypto into silver. These are just thoughts, and it can all be done here on Kinesis.money. It just gives you another option, another place to buy, another place to pivot. Kinesis.money. Hey, Sam, thank you. The 21-2 to change my life forever. Just wanted to ask your ETH support target. Let's take a look at Ethereum. And every time I trade ETH, it dumps. I say it every time. It's like, I'm never trading ETH again. Never again. Yeah, so ETH was in this beautiful flag, remember? Looked nice. To me, it was consolidating. Looked like it would just get a bounce, get very tight, and start a pump. ETFs were gaining on ETH. ETH was pumping. It looked very interesting, and then no. Boom. More like a shoulder, head, right shoulder to the downside. And honestly, I mean, whenever I've seen dumps like this, and even like the weekly was away from the 21. So it either chops sideways here or heads somewhere down to 35, 34. In my humble opinion. The 21 coming back in. Looks like the price has to touch the 21 again on the weekly, which is like a struggle for Ethereum. Look at the bigger picture, right? Looks like it's coming back to this trend line, or at least back to test this level here. You're hoping it can get a bounce and make some type of triangle. But the thing about that is, I mean, for that to happen, that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's like 6, 7 weeks. And then everyone's like, alt season isn't until ETH pumps again. And like, so ETH doesn't pump until almost says February. Like, this is crazy. So I don't know what's happening. Everyone says the news is coming. ETH just out of nowhere, rocket ships. I don't know, man. You're really hoping it holds 39, though, on the weekly. All coins need our ramp. For you lowers again. Alts are so, yeah. Shout out to Milligan's Travels. Shout out to everybody here on the live. I carry digital gold and silver on Uphold. Don't judge me. Hey, God bless you, man. Do whatever makes you happy, man. You don't got to answer to nobody but yourself, brother. May God bless you. And shout out to all the super chats, all the beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Appreciate each and every one of you for being here. I got to get my sparkling water juice here going. Get myself energized. Let's go into action. No, but you wake up in the morning, you see the nasty dump, right? The first thing you do, you're going to work it all out. You see what's happening. Kind of get ready for the week ahead. Let's kind of show you, too. We have some stuff to kind of look forward to, so to speak. Tomorrow, I believe Jerome Powell speaks tomorrow at 12:35. Fed Chair Powell speaks. I don't know if it's out of college or something. I didn't look up exactly where he speaks, but he does speak. That's going to affect the market at 12:30, 100%. Wednesday, I believe we're off with nothing crazy. Our new home sales, though, and crude inventories, which I could see, have a little move. That's 10 a.m. I even want to see the new home sales. I want to know that for myself, as I've been into real estate recently. Unemployment claims on Thursday will definitely throw us off at 8:30 and put us up and down. Then durable goods and final GDP and goods trade balance. I mean, a lot coming our way at 8:30 on Thursday. And then I believe there's core PCE and personal income spending coming on Friday. So Thursday and Friday at 8:30 we have information. And then tomorrow at about 12:35, Jerome Powell speaks. So we have a fun-filled week ahead of us for sure. And today, nothing crazy, right? These FOM members speaking actually at 12 o'clock, but I usually don't put too much into that. They're not red folders, as you can see. Anyway, need I digress. So, it would be beautiful if this is a buying opportunity with a bit of a bounce, which it very well may be. But they definitely, this is the rally that has always got people on their toes. It's never been like, all the other rallies, we start to pump, we get away from our previous prices, and everyone's like, oh, no, we're doing good now. You can breathe easy, you can start to DCA into altcoins, and you can build. This time, every time you DCA into altcoins, you're like, I don't know if that was a good idea. I'm still lower than I am, or I'm high. It's like, you can swing trade altcoins and get in and out, but DCAing long term has been tough. It is shown to be a tough move. All right, being 90% in cash at short term feels so good, 100%. And I've been in and out, and I've been just, I stacked real estate and have been in and out most this year. And I did most of my crypto stacking the last, 18 months. I bought a little bit here and there. And we just kind of wait, man, for these moments. And it feels like it takes forever. And I'm patient, and I buy the dips, and I do everything I'm supposed to do with discipline. And I wait my turn, but dang, man. It's been rough. Look at this chop here. Look at this. We are still above the 200 moving average on the 1 minute, which is a bullish sign. We could continue here to the upside. I got the new iPhone. It's nice. I'll tell you what I like about it. It's super light. I also don't. It is a tracking device though, so keep it inside of a box that can't hear or see you. You know what I mean? Yeah. When you can, But besides that, it's pretty cool. Hey, Sam, where do you think real estate is going? Consolidation, lower prices, higher prices, GameStop pumping. Can we look? It's the most brutal cycle I've been in all lot of chop. 100% Milligan's travels. Oh, yeah. And look at this. I mean, that's a double top right there, right? 1, 2. Triple top. Just can't seem to get back above 113,000. And I mean, you can almost look at it like it's just, I say more downside unless we get above the 5-minute 200 moving average. Have you looked at Treehouse yet? Ticker Tree. I think we looked at Tree the other day. Nah, I thought, isn't it? I thought I knew about it a while back though. Wow, it took a dump. Yeah. It's been out since July. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't look amazing. Charts look horrible, right? I'd rather not look at it. I hope, is this the right one? I think I'm correct, right? Treehouse. Yeah, it looks pretty bad. I'm going to move on. I'm going to do my research, though, and maybe it's worth looking at later on at another time. The chart looks horrible, though. Absolutely horrible. Yeah. Complete, yeah. Take a look at BTC European chart. Looks interesting. Well, that's a good, BTC Euro. All right. So that looks, to me, looks a little more bullish. It's okay. I don't know, though. It's you almost made the right shoulder, too, again. I tell you what, they're either scaring everybody here to create massive shorts, which they did one time before with the right shoulder, right? And then, boom. And we have a massive... Sorry, massive pump to the upside. That was my fault. I clicked on the thing. But the thing is here, I mean, I don't know. I see what you're saying. It looks, I don't know. It looks about the same. It looks a little more bearish, though, doesn't it? It's almost completed the right shoulder. It's at 96,000 euros, right? Funny. What was their all-time high? It was 105,000. Funny, we never looked at this before. This is the Euro chart for Bitcoin. In case you're jumping in, you're like, wait, what's going on? I don't know. That looks like a right shoulder that wants to dump. I'm not a fan. You got to get back above the 4-hour 200 moving average. To me, it looks just like, it looks very similar to Bitcoin, USD, right? I mean, yeah, they're both playing with the 200 moving average or the 4-hour time frame. It looks, I don't see a difference really, man. Yeah. Somebody says major dump expected tonight. I mean, when you're below the 200 moving average, this to me looks like a bit of a head and shoulder pattern. Not a great one, but it looks like one. And that looks like you could dump all the way back down to 98K, 100,000. I mean, it can. Look at that. $109,000. I mean, you have some levels to watch, but dang. And again, I don't want to be the ultimate bear here. There's definitely a lot of levels we have to bust through first, but it doesn't look amazing. And so my strategy is key. Like we break back above the 5-minute 200 moving average, then we can long and everything's dandy. If we do not do that, we are still struggling. And what looks to me like a bit of a bear flag that can send us oh so lower. That target takes us to about $110,000 BTC. And I don't see how, we have made lower highs. We have a resistance here that we broke back below. You've got to get back above 113, retest. Then you got to get above the 200 moving average in the 5. And then you got to go towards this resistance. You got to break through that and retest. So like you have 3 big hurdles. You got to break above this and retest. You got to get above the 200 moving average. You got to break above this and retest. At that point, we can start to believe that something may, and even then you could dump after that. But like these are the first basic ideas that have to occur first for us to do anything in the bullish times. So a smart bullish trader would just wait for a far more less risky signal than attempting to buy the absolute bottom, right? And at this point, it's just more likely we're going to continue lower until the bulls can show us something different. High volume nodes, you know what I mean? So right now, I have to remain a bear. And I was bearish last night on the live, if you remember. I said it looks bearish to me. It doesn't look good. All right. And let's take a look at BOOKMAP, which presents liquidity, right? It's got some right there at 111,500. You can see a lot. It still has 113.5, a pretty good level, though. But that was darker red before, and now it's really just gone. Mixed signals, though. You still got dark red above us at 113.5. I'm telling you, it hasn't been showing us the deeper liquidity. It's been hidden for whatever reason. So this looks like it's going to take a dump. The odds are this is going to go lower here, folks. You're below the 200 moving average. And that's bearish. We're above it. This is the exact model we play on the way up. And this is the model on the way down. Shout out to the new subscriber. Please subscribe to the channel. On our way to 150,000 subscribers. I can't believe I'm saying that. Shout out to everyone that helped us get to 100,000 subs. Amazing, amazing journey it's been to 100,000 subscribers. I'm very, 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 very grateful. Like, that's unbelievable that we hit that milestone. I remember so many days I was like, are we going to get there? We're going to get there. And then, I was like, I'll get there when the time is right, when I'm supposed to get there. And eventually we did get there. Unbelievable. So wow, so the largest Bitcoin and crypto liquidation event just happened. And that was at 10:57 at September 22nd, right? So that's what I'm looking at here now. The largest Bitcoin and crypto liquidation event of the year just happened. Insanity. So many people got it wrong. Why? Why do they go against the grain every time? And how do they get so many people liquidated? When you could clearly see, I have some new traders in my group. I have a young gentleman who's been trading about a year. You know what I mean? I met him about a year ago. So he's been trading less than that, right? And maybe he was dabbling, but he had no idea what the charts were. He's watched my stream for a year. He's been under the tutelage. He's had close mentorship, and he's been doing well. He made dang near, I think, $1,200 last night on a short. So congratulations to all my students that get the knowledge and continue to push themselves. I'm super proud of you guys. And that's what I said. Like, today could be somebody's worst day, and it could be somebody's best day of trading. And so I'm here to teach people that want to learn. That's the key. I've been through it all, ups and downs. Not every day is going to be your best day. Look at me. I lost 2 trades. It is what it is. It's okay. That's fine. I didn't bet the house, and I didn't lose thousands of dollars. I'm smart for losing small. Like, that's the one thing that I can actually pat my head on, is how to lose the right way, right? And you got to teach people how to lose. You're going to have a P&L. No one is going to have a P&P, profit and profit and profit and profit and profit and profit. I've had amazing streaks. My last week was unbelievable, right? You saw me, I lost 2 out of 9 trades, 2 out of 10 trades. It was awesome. On 2 exchanges, just nailed it. Ripped up the balances, and we don't want to give that money back. So we're sitting pretty, just kind of waiting for the right time to attack these charts. And we'll know. We'll get above this. There will be a key level. We'll get a bounce, and we will know exactly when to go at it. The group will be there, and we will have a blast. And I saw people making gains this morning on those shorts, so shout out to the 99. You people are on point making it happen. So, and then everyone's looming with this news that's coming on Tuesday. Tomorrow, big news for the market, right? It's going to change the world forever. I'm checking back in with my sources. I'll let you know that, it's kind of crazy, right? And even I said in a way, because that's what I'm hearing, but who knows? I'm not verifying anything but the charts. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance. That is for certain. Look, right here, I see a head and shoulder pattern. It just looks dumpy to me. I'm getting like deja vu on the dumpage too. So crazy though. When we started ripping back off 108, it looked like, to me, the narrative looked like we were going to start kind of ripping back to an all-time high. And things were looking pretty bullish. But I also said you never know. And then I could see it this weekend that things were, once you lose the 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame, you got to start paying attention. Once you lose it on the 1 hour, to me, that's highly substantial right there. And look, we saw the descending triangle last night on the live. And I said to you guys, that looks bearish. I said, that's a drop to 112.5. And here we are, right? It's just crazy. And you go back to the live stream and see this exact drawing. And again, it's how I trade. Tight moving averages. You lost the point of control. Why would you? That would be no reason to long there. And then I said to watch your 15-minute. If your 15-minute can't get back above the 200, expect more downside. If we got above this in the 21 curve, we got a flag, I would have traded the flag. It's a great way to trade because you basically take confirmation of uptrends. And then you just keep the downtrend if you're going to short. It's even short. Look, you can see shoulder, head, right shoulder to the downside. Absolutely insanity. So the price action never lies, in my humble opinion. It's just us that lie to ourselves about what we see in price action. Like this says you're going lower, and here we are going lower. It just makes sense to me. So now you're going to either double bottom at 112.3 or you're going down to 110,500. And what looks to be just a massive crypto liquidation. As the NASDAQ and the S&P pump. I get it. I don't I don't understand. It is what it is. That's just how the cookie crumbles. Okay. It's never perfect. Let's take a look at altcoins at a glance here and see what's happening. So every altcoin down in the red except for AI companions, which is kind of a weird one, you know what I mean, if you know what it is. So, and most altcoins down. On the week, still some green out here. But again, in the last day, in the last hour, it's a red day. It's a red day, except for white holding us down, but basically a red day for these altcoins. Craziness, right? Advantage back to 196. Everything taking a hit with this Bitcoin dump, no matter how hot. I mean, you got to love AVAX. It did hit 31. We called that a while back. Shout out to AVAX pumping to the upside. We'll take a look at that. Hedera looks good to me long term. XRP didn't look too bad, but breaking back below $3, man. And it's crazy. Near Protocol was ripping at that 3. Everything looked good. And then until it did a Nexo and that bigger consolidation that we keep pointing out. So what I want to look at here, the first thing I wanted to look at, the first coin I want to take a look at was Avalanche. And then I want to also take a look at World Liberty Financial. All right. So we've identified Bitcoin as mostly bearish, 100%, right? And we know what levels we're going to play with if we get back above them and say, okay, we're bullish on that. And until then, we just kind of sit pretty on these ideas. So we had AVAX breaking out of this beautiful flag, and it did. Then it had a nasty dump this morning, which gave you a 29. In every big run, like I consider ourselves in still a bit of a bull run here. You've got these crazy wicks that do create buying opportunities. And this reminds me of one. I'm getting deja vu. I wouldn't be surprised if you just watch this, but it looks like it's going to take some time. We go sideways for maybe a week or two now. Just look how long it took. AVAX here went sideways from July 28th all the way to August to September. It went sideways for 40 days. So if it goes sideways for 20, if it goes sideways for 20 days, right? And so that's how this market's been. It's been wait, get in, pump, sell. Take advantage of this move on. It's just like, and it's been a patient man's game in many of these coins. And then out of nowhere, we had the eruption of MyX and all. This week was crazy. It felt like alt season with the pumpage. It felt like we just couldn't stop. It was nuts how much things were pumping this week. Then it slows down and we get out of nowhere, everything just gets the wind blown out of its sails Sunday night into Monday. It is a bit interesting how the market can just twist and turn on a dime here. And then you see the NASDAQ pumping. I could see how it could confuse the heck out of everybody out here. Absolutely absurd. Follow me at CryptoX.com. 38,900 beautiful followers. Can't wait to see you guys out here. 39. There we go. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. But shout out to everybody here that follows me. Look, Bonk is trending. An earthquake. Hold up. What's happening? Everyone in the Bay Area waking up to the earthquake. 4.3 magnitude earthquake strikes near Berkeley in San Francisco. A 4.3. Wow. Struck at 2:56 a.m. local time. Bay Area Twitter users coming to see if anyone else felt the earthquake. So an earthquake in San Francisco. Hope everybody is okay. And I hope everything's all right. Yeah. You can't even scroll anymore. You never know what you're going to see there. So there you have it. So yeah, we're seeing a struggle move here for Bitcoin. It looks like the bear flag is breaking down. And we see more downside, at least for a double bottom here at 112,289. And then the next bigger target is 110,004. We nailed it last night. Are we going to hit it again? And it looks like this strategy, buy more Bitcoin. It looks like that would be the case here. I just want to see if there's some Bitcoin news here. I think MicroStrategy, get it? MicroStrategy? MicroStrategy? I don't know. I thought that was funny. MicroStrategy bought more Bitcoin. Vivek Ramaswamy strive to buy Semler Scientific in an all-stock deal, boosting combined Bitcoin treasury ideas. Yeah, that's interesting, right? Above 10,900 Bitcoins. Yeah, CryptoLink stocks. Yeah, Refine Group acquires an additional 1.4 Bitcoin for approximately 1.5 million. Funny. Oh, big buys, 2 hours ago, Strategy unveils additional 99,700,000 Bitcoin purchase. 99 million. So Strategy, the business intelligence software firm with a huge appetite for Bitcoin, has decided to stack up more coins despite the poor price performance of the asset. In an update by Michael Saylor Strategy, executive chairman, the firm has required an additional 850 Bitcoin at 99.7 million. They purchased the Bitcoin at an average price of 117.3 per BTC. This places the total cost at approximately $99.7 million, amazingly. So Strategy buys more Bitcoin. They love the Monday buys. September 22nd. And that's news at 8 a.m. Michael Saylor and Strategy buying more Bitcoin. Just like I did this weekend. I just did a little bit earlier than they did, right? Funny. So, but dang, 117, why do they have to pay so much at 112? I guess they buy you buy it and now they announce it. So they must have bought it, but the announcement comes today. Yeah. It's always like a week after the buy. 10 days or something. Still, could we get this bounce? That's a low, that's a high, that's a higher low technically. Bitcoin's hanging out in chop. I do nothing until Monday night when we really start to see where we go in the daily closes. Very important. We're looking for that. If we can get it, it will be awesome. All right. But I don't have faith in this. I would just watch price action right now. It's more likely that we dump down to 110 But hey, let's see if 112.5 can hold us. Let's see if this higher low can hold us down. Anything is possible. I would long if we break above the 5-minute 200 moving average, which hasn't looked likely. And we've actually collapsed further to the downside so far. I guess you could say we're still kind of in this channel with a tiny higher low. You get above that 1-minute 200, that's the first thing, and then from there. So I know I sound like a broken record, but that's just kind of what we're looking at today. It's a tougher day to trade. It's not perfect. It's just one of them days that the market goes through, right? It ain't perfect. Not by any means, shape, or form. Follow me at CryptoLifer.com if you want to know more. You can read about me, get the tools, affiliate, whatever you want. And you can even jump on into the $99.270 or the annual subscription. Find out more today. Okay, so let's take a look here. Linné was on my radar. Had a pump, came right back into the target. Aster and Advantage both kind of struggling now, getting the decent pullback like they should be after those massive pumps they were getting. Maverick Network, Boundless, Somia, MyX, pumped off fun, actually holding it, but, still pulling back. Stablecoin, Lombard has been on my radar bar there. Hyperliquid back to 48, so sad, as it did so much and pumped so well. Let's take a look at World Liberty Finance, as I'm actually still up on that coin, but barely. DCAs have been tough. Swing trades have been great. Leverage trading Bitcoin, amazing. But DCAing coins have been really tough. I had such a good week the last couple of weeks that I haven't chased, and I've been really, really just happy and stayed very, very, very humble, which has helped me. Wow, so this thing was actually looking pretty good in a nice trend line. It actually lost the trend line. You see that? Not a good sign. Now you'd say like that's on both of these ideas are on the board. Unless it can rip back above the 200 moving average on that 1 hour, back above this trend line. So wow, that's bearish. Looks like it's actually going to start going lower. I put a very small amount in there, so I'm not stressing. And there's Bitcoin taking the tumble, right? Looks like 580 on the... Yeah, so it looks like more downside here for BTC as it loses this key trend line and starts to fall further down. First measured move takes you to the double bottom at 112.3 and then further down to about 111,400. Who here saw this Bitcoin dump? Who here watched my live stream last night and didn't want to believe we were going to dump, but could see the writing on the wall? God bless you and your family. Sad. Can we look at XRP BTC? Look at Juicy on the daily. Join the 99, the best money you will spend. Like and subscribe. Been trading full-time 12 years and still learn from Sam. God bless you, Milligan's Travels. We love you and we appreciate that awesome news. Thank you. XRP BTC. Let's take a look at XRP Bitcoin. I mean, it just took a nasty... Like, we wanted this flag to play out, right? Last time I looked at it, it was really nice sideways price action above the 200 moving average. It extended that price action sideways yet again. I just want to see these key levels that we're looking at and notice that as it bounces off that 200 moving average, right? So key. But I mean, and then it did get back inside the pattern. I mean, some signs of life here, if it can, but it's got to stay in there. It can't go below that 200 moving average on that daily. I feel like it just tested the lows right now. I see what you're saying. I mean, it could start to pump back to the upside. It shows some hope in the altcoin Bitcoin market because if this pumps, it means Bitcoin and XRP could pump together, but XRP would just pump in a higher multiple. It is a cup and handle. It is back inside the pattern. I'll give it to you. It's interesting. It's a definitely high risk, high reward type of buy. Like it's a legendary buy. You have to like literally buy the nasty fear right now as we're speaking. So I wouldn't do it. You know, again, I'm not saying I'm doing that, but I'm just depicting what type of trade it would be if a trader were to get in right here. It would be epic, right? You're buying the fear as it's happening right then, which can create interesting price action, right? Let's look at pump.fun. So pump's been hot. Had that huge run up all the way to 8.7, but it dumped back down. And if you pull the fib, this makes sense from the very beginning. If you pull it from this impulse, 786 bounce, which, you know, looks somewhat likely to me. Coming back to key support and resistance to levels as well. Sorry, that silence. I'm just working in my brain there. I mean, crazy thing is this dump now says we got to get like these V-shaped recoveries, which take time. So even if we're bullish, to me, like now you got to get consolidation. Which could happen, but that says by the end of September, you know, and then you rip up to 12 cents, 14 cents, or 1.4, sorry, which is like 8 to 14 cents. That looks possible to me. I like it. That's kind of the trajectory I see Pump Fund going. Let's take a look at AEVO. AEVO on MEXC. Wow, so it had a huge pump, ran all the way up to 15 cent from the low of 5, what was it? 8 cents right there. Nice little pump, but not amazing, right? I mean, I'm not like, but it got above the daily 200 moving average. Look at on the 8 hour ahead, the pump came back. So like if I was bullish on this, I'd set my support and resistance. I draw this line here. I draw this up and I'd say, okay, you got to get a bounce back above this 200 moving average. That consolidates with the 21. I mean, that's our next trade, right? So that's possible. And this is what I do. Bitcoin dumping, whatever, it doesn't matter. There's always going to be opportunities in these altcoins in the next week or two. Something's going to pump, and we're going to find it. Just like if we were focused on Bitcoin all weekend and we didn't find Aster and Avantis, you know what I mean? We got to just focus on the hotness. Something will give, something will pump. We'll find a way. We will find a way. So AEVO there, 17 would be the target. Very tight. Can you hit this area and bounce to the upside? Is the question. You know, so I would play it like that. Like, again, very aggressive to buy right now and call the absolute bottom. It could be though. You know, for me, I don't play that. I wait for it to come here and then I just swing trade that 43%. And maybe I only get like 20 or 30%, or I get the middle. The key is to take the best out of the most solid moves out of the most probable ideas. You don't have to get the whole move every time. I'd rather get 10 trades and get, you know, I'd rather go after 10 trades that look highly probable and get this every time than have to go after 5 trades and go for the whole thing every single time. You see what I'm saying? It's about maximizing potential through probability and taking what is yours when you can. I'm getting better and better at doing this because my mind is training itself over time to only take the best trades. Why go after anything else? And then because I've seen so much more of the market, I have a pretty good idea of what the best trade is because I've seen the market. I've been watching it for 20 years now. So you can too. I always say that because why not? So use my brain, use my subconscious mind. If you've only been in the market 3 years, say you're 25, you've been watching the market for 3 or 4 years. You're 50, you just decided to start trading the last 5 years. Anyone out there could utilize, even this guy, 12 years. Utilize my brain, man. 20 years of watching these markets, all different types. The Toronto Stock Exchange, Apple. You know, I was trading, you know, basically all those tech, you know, from tech stocks to gold mine to Bitcoin. It's amazing. So utilize that. Utilize that. Massimo to analysis me, Suibe. I can't read it, but let's try to read what he says. This will be fun, right? Malissimo to analysis. Más sabiendo que la bajada de tasas de interés aumentan el apetito por activos de mer residuo. Bitcoin necesitaba liquidez para subir. Nadie quiere comprar a 118 ahora puede subir. Amen. I got super wrecked, somebody said. You made my day. Love you, bro. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Somebody said, Tu hablo español, tu hablando muy rápido. Do no, yeah. Yo sé muchas palabras. Yo no comprendo tu hablando muy rápido. Gringo. Muy bien, Samuel. Si hablas español. Soy Riviera Maya. Need some translation, brother. Hey, you got it. Your name's Pedro, man. Your name's Pedro Ramos, man. You got to figure that out. Oh, you're saying, do I need it? Yeah. Wait, you don't know what he said? I can figure out what he said, pretty much. I can see the words. I saw Sabir's under. Cueto is can. You know what I mean? I get it. I got it. Hey, I ain't my first time to Mexico over here. Hey, you're doing well, brother. Keep up. with the chart. Thank you. Nobody wanted to buy 118, so we're going back down. That's what he said, short version. Amen. He said you the best, man. Amen. So yeah, we're looking for AEVO. Look for that to hit. And let's just jump back in here to the fan funding. What are you people saying? So we got Christine Morales with the 777. She said, Lord bless Sam on his trip and envelop him with your angels of protection. That's so nice of you. It's the nicest thing anyone's ever done for me in my life. Make me cry, man. That's super sweet. Only women, man, could be that sweet and that thoughtful. God bless you. Thank you so much. Hey, Lifer, thank you for coming here daily. Can I take a look at EGLD? We did that. That was such a sad super chat. But thank you. God bless you. Not you. Like, I appreciate you so much, but just how that coin has just progressed over time. Iris Instant, can you take a look at Soul? Can you take a look at Wild? We took a look at those. Thank you, Iris. And thank you. Look at JD. Underground Crypto writes, discipline is the foundation upon which all success is built. Lack of discipline inevitably leads to failure. Jim Rohn. Feeling terrible after getting liquidated badly on the dump. So dumb, no stop loss. Less than 4 months trading. Was another $5 for some lifer advice. And we talked about how my biggest losses create my wins. And you just got to be able to rebuild yourself. Everyone that's ever won has lost more than you've ever thought, man. So just know that the winners have lost thousands of times. We just didn't stop. That's all. And rest assured that that's the truth. So there's really no such thing as winning as you've sought. It's someone who finally hits something after losing all the time. That's a winner, man. I know it sounds insane, but that's the truth. Pump USD looking hot while the rest of the market dumps. It looked okay. Press G, if you got the gainitis, best is yet to come. Hang tight. God bless everybody. Master friend in the house. Thank you, Master friend. Hey, Sam, thank you for the 21 and the 200. Changed my life forever. Just wanted to ask your ETH support target. We looked at it. Doesn't look amazing. 4,000, really. We looked at Tree. Tree looked horrible. God bless you, though. It was just vibe and watch the charts and buy on the lows. Have faith, peeps. Much love. Shout out to Sun Chips. We love you. And Zab, women are now turning into good drivers. So if you're a good driver, watch out for turning women. All jokes, all love, people. Smash the like for Sammy. This is priceless knowledge. God bless you, man. Thank you so much. Shout out to Zab. Milligan's Travels. God bless you and your family. Can we look at XRP BTC? We did that. Thank you. Let's look at Juicy on the daily. Join the 99. It did come back on that wick. Looks like it could pump. I've been trading full time for 12 years and he still learns from me. Thank you, man. That's super nice, Milligan's Travels. That's called maximizing your expected value. Shout out to Andrew Yurkovic. Can you look at order from Poner kills the trolls or something like that, right? I always try to see what it's Poner kills all trolls. That's so funny. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Okay, so the first thing we're going to take a look at, right, is order here. Or the only thing. That's the only thing I think that came through. We got all the other super chats out the way for sure. So this is the orderly network. The last time I put it out, I said it looks like it could pump to the upside. I said order looks nice with a target up there at 36. And it seems like I hit it. I believe I put this out to the trading group. Let me double check. Because I do a lot of stuff and I look at a lot of things. Or someone may have given it to us on the live stream, apparently. But I had an alert for it for whatever reason, cooking, as you can see. Might have kept it to myself. Sometimes I do that. I do a lot of different things. Yeah, I don't see it out there for whatever reason. Sometimes I don't put the space between order. The orderly network. Interesting. Anyway, it was getting tight with the moving averages above the 200 moving. And it went pretty high. And actually, it looks pretty good compared to the rest of the market, right? Like, the rest of the market pumps and dumps and all over the place. This thing held its levels pretty nicely. So let's take a look at the daily. So you can see we called that pump with the alert and everything on that smaller time frame. That's how I do it. Amazing move. To me, that's just too far away from the 21-day moving average. I would stay away from that. I'd pull a Fibonacci and I'd be looking for it to come back down to the 618. At that point, I would look to get back in. And that looks like it's probably a couple weeks away. And I could be terribly wrong. Maybe it pumps. It doesn't look as bad on the smaller time frames. So just keep watching it. But right now, that's what I see happening. I wouldn't be chasing. Now, beautiful pump that already came. I mean, it went from 5 cents all the way up to 33 cents. I mean, that's a 6x, right? So we had basically a little alt season in the last from July, and maybe that was, now we have to have a little bit of a pullback now. It's not going to be continuation. Shout out to Poner Kills All Trolls. Thank you so much for the super chat. And may God bless you. Let me get back into that live chat. Bellico X. Shout out to Bellico X. Shout out to Scottish Crypto in the house. Shout out to Michael Prime. My man. Shout out to I'm High Risk. I love you. I lost 40K this morning. Biggest loss of my life, man. That's crazy. Is that really true? Sam lived in New York. He knows 100%. Scottish Rican. Oh, yeah. All over the place. Irish Ricans. Está cabrón. Oh, no, don't say that stuff. Don't say that. Don't talk like that on my channel, man. Come on, man. You can't say that word here. Come on. You almost had me saying it, too. Let's take a look at the Fear and Greed Index and see where it's at right now today. 45. Can we get lower? 39? I want to see 30s. Let's get into the shaded region. Then we know Bitcoin is worth buying. You can't be buying the top. You got to be buying these key areas where Bitcoin is showing you that it's definitely on sale. I don't chase Bitcoin, you know what I mean, when it's overpriced for any reason. There's no reason to be doing that, right? And so look, back below the 200 moving average, back inside a bear flag, that's likely going to continue to dump. It just is what it is. You can see this key level headed further to the downside. So yes, Bitcoin to 112,100 looks very, very likely. Only a matter of time. Could it bounce here too off 112,006? It's possible. But I mean, that looks bearish to me. It's got to get back above that 1 minute 200 for me to believe anything. I mean, kind of a head and shoulder. It's attempting to stop the pain. Say slight higher low at 112.5. Man. Let's see how the daily closes. Let's see if we get back above this key level. I always have that bull in me that could, you never know, but man. And shout out to anyone that gave a super chat. You didn't have to give, but you did, Zab. That's very nice of you. Come back to you tenfold. Everybody out there, I just can't believe it. You guys know I'm winning, doing well, and you still send super chats my way. I feel so blessed every day to be here. Dear Lord, thank you for everyone that you sent to my channel. Thank you for the ability to be here on this mic every single day. Thank you for the ability to push forward no matter what. Through all the ups and downs, no matter what the market gives us, and to be able to have a positive attitude no matter what comes our way. Look at this nice little jump there for Bitcoin back to 745. Boom, right? A bit of a shoulder, head and right shoulder there. Get above the 200, and then, yes. But we did it. That was perfect right there, and we got the pump. We did get the pump. We were in the money there. It's crazy, right? It did what it was supposed to, but then we got collapsed. 777s, flashing. We're about to cross the 200 moving average. Buy the dippage, right? This could be you were scared. You were scared. We'll see where the daily, don't get overly bearish. Like I said, don't get overly bullish. Just take this one day at a time. Let's see where the daily candle closes and not get too crazy. Don't make emotional moves. Look at the bigger time frames when you see a lot of craziness going on, right? You stop losing when you have nothing left to lose and realize humility, responsibility, and the wisdom of education. Yeah, I know that my education helped me gain anything that I gained, right? So was I chasing money? No, I never was. I was always chasing what? Education. Because I got the money from the education. Agreed? 100%. I learned something new, and when I learned something new, I put it to practice. When I put it to practice, it made me money. Simple stuff, right? In theory, I don't know. To a lot of people, it's a lot harder. And to my old self, it was extremely hard. Now it all makes sense to me. But it's about being aligned. Then I see people who are aligned younger than me, and they're aligned. It makes sense. Like they're doing the right thing from the very beginning. I was fighting myself from the very beginning. You know what I mean? I had to learn so much more. The point is, the knowledge that I learned definitely got me the money. So was I ever chasing money? No, I was definitely chasing knowledge. So now that I've gained money from the knowledge, what do I continue to do? Do I continue to chase money then? That wouldn't make sense, right? No. I continue to chase knowledge now. And so sometimes I lose a trade. There's knowledge in that. Sometimes I win. There's knowledge in that. The only sad thing I'll tell you, it does take the rush of the money away, because if you truly know that you're going to be a multi-millionaire, billionaire, then you're never going to stress money again. Then you're never going to celebrate your wins as gratitude, because you have to, right? Thank you so much for the win. Like if I win $5,000, just thank you. I mean, that's amazing. And there's gratitude in there, but you know that you were never chasing the money. It's interesting, right? It's weird. The dynamic changes when you finally raise the frequency. You realize you were never chasing what you thought you were chasing to begin with. Now you can touch all the things that you couldn't touch before. They're in your grasp. Now what? Now what do you do with that is the key, right? Fear presents more success than failure, 100%. If you live in fear, you cannot move. You'll be paralyzed. The trade you never took is the trade you never learned from. The move you never made is the move you never learned from. The person that keeps making moves is going to continue to progress because they're going to learn from every move they make. Every day I go live, I put myself out there, right? There's a learning experience out there on the live. And the more and more people that come out and the more we learn how to connect with people on many different levels. And then I go places and meet all these different people. And you see the impact you've created through the live stream. I mean, that's huge. This looks like a right shoulder that's going to take us further down. I'm pretty bearish here for Bitcoin. Unless the 5-minute gets back above that 200 moving average. Or it's you know what I mean? I don't see it. I usually call the bottom. I don't see it today. I started trading by selling covered calls at 99. Self-taught through books. Joined Sammy's 99 2 years ago. Huge improvement in my skills and trading. Unbelievable. Covered calls, baby. What is your thought on XRP coming off Coinbase? Is that a good thing or bad? I mean, that's always good when money is leaving an exchange. It always creates scarcity, and it usually means people are putting it to the side. When it's headed to an exchange, that's usually not a great sign. That means people are going to sell off. So you don't want to see money moving to the exchange, but moving off exchanges is usually a great sign. Yeah, like Bitcoin moving off to a hard wallet. Like someone's stashing that Bitcoin. They bought a big amount and they're stashing it. Or a lot of times it also is just, it's liquidity by an exchange. They're just stashing money somewhere. And, usually an exchange traded wallet, an exchange wallet or something like that. So I see this as a shoulder, head, right shoulder for Bitcoin. I just want to make that clear right now. Looks like we're getting a collapse here back down to about 111,009. Feeling like revenge of the shorts Monday. Yeah, that's the problem these days with Bitcoin. Just chop, dump and bump it already. Playing games around, making shorts and longs, second guess everything. Yeah. There's just too much leverage around it all the time now. Yeah, I can't thank you enough, brother. I got to come up with a play for you. I know you're an OG, but for eyes is better than two. You're going to get it, dude. 100% you will. Hey, one day I'll come in from the beach and you'll post something in the group and I'll see it. It happens all the time. People are there for me. Listen, I work very, very hard and I've put in so much time, but I got 3 kids and a wife that also need me, right? And I got to divide my time equally. And that's why we have the elite and other people in the group. And that's why the group isn't made up of just me. It's so many different people in the group. Master Friend Teaching Leverage and the LLM Mastery. Okay? Which you can learn more inside the group. Ask about LLM Leverage Mastery. Learning from other people's adventures and mistakes is valuable information because we can learn what not to do without the pain of having tried and failed ourselves. Jim Rohn. Have you ever used the Algo Alpha Indicator? No, have not. Sounds cool though. Sounds like I may want to. And remember, I'm always like secretly a little more bullish than bearish despite whatever happens. Like, can we get the move? Let's go, baby. If we were in such bearish control, why don't we get the dump yet today too? The chop is interesting. So only time will tell. Let's see what happens. I'll stick with it throughout the day and I'll keep posting to my group. And if I see something, I'll say something. And I hope we trade as good as we did last week. We did absolutely amazing. There's a chance this is our bottom on the weekly. We continue back to the upside here, and it's just all lovely, all the way back up to 120,000. So stress not, fear not. Good chances. Look, it looks like a Bart Simpson, doesn't it? Inverted Bart Simpson. Let me show you what I'm saying, because I'll go to like a Bitcoin chart we haven't touched. But that looks like an inverted Bart Simpson, right? Boom. Dump, right? And we'll Bart Simpson right back, and that's a pump right back up. So I don't know, rounded bottoms pay the bills. That ain't too bad. Out of an Adam and Eve starting to form higher low. Like you're so bearish, but then all of a sudden you're bullish, Sammy. I mean, I just see potential everywhere. I just got to wait for the right signals. So I see both sides and I wait for the right signal. But that's interesting to me right off the bat. What do you say? So we needed this flag to break out. That was our last minute move, and we got it so far. Another inverted head and shoulder. Now it's like it's going to flag with the 200 here. And you can keep piecemeal in the 1 minute together until it fills in the story of the daily. And then what if we get this thing? This would be awesome. Shoulder, shoulder, kind of head, shoulder, shoulder breakout. So I'll be watching closely. I'll be updating, and I'll see what happens in this market. What an amazing day. We've been up since 7 in the morning grinding. It's already going to be 12. 5 hours already put into the market. A lot of days we've been paid already, not today. Today wasn't one of those days, all right? It could also be a bearish megaphone 100%. I think you're spot on for saying that. I love whoever said that. Yeah, the bearish megaphone right here, see? It's usually bullish, though. The megaphone usually is bullish, but we'll see. I can see it either way, man. It's tight. Let the 1 minute crack above the 200 moving average. Let the 3 minute. Well, the 3 minute is above the 200, which is interesting. That's a good sign that we could be bullish. I do like the 3 minute on BitConnect. I could see a pump come from that. That's happened many times. And then your 1 hour did a tweezer bottom already. And so far we've been kind of bouncing. And we bottomed at 111. I mean, we had a nasty bottom. So we'll see. But a lot of times when I see a wick like this, we kind of revisit the liquidity. I got mixed signals today. I'm not going to tell you exactly, what it is. Looks like we're about to get the pump on the 1 minute, though. Above the 200 and then go from there. I like that the 3 minutes above it. And let's see if we get the 5. Yeah, so watch this pump. Looks like we could get it right now as we speak. And finally bottom here. And that is a higher low for Bitcoin. Technically, we didn't take out this low here at 112.4. So far, that's bullish. Look, there it is. Boom. I see a pump. A little bit. Sailor brought last week. OTC buying, slow trickle in. Created that buy pressure. And this week, miners are taking profits, creating sell pressure. It'll settle out. We know the ending. All good. Shout out to my man, Crypto Billy in the house. OG launched its mainnet called Aristotle, and it's designed as a layer 1 blockchain built for AI workloads. OG. OG fan token or OG something different? Oh, wow. Look at that thing booming. That thing hit the target, came back down again. That's another one we hit, though. Look at that. So many coins. Sam, do you think close below 112K today will hit the move to the 200 moving average daily? I don't know. I don't think. I got to look at it. Right now, I don't know. The odds are we're starting to get some type of bounce here. We'll see. Tightness. Everybody, thank you so much for jumping on in. We appreciate you all for being here. Shout out to the channel sponsor. Shout out to everybody out there. Kinesis.money. We thank you. I do teach class the last Saturday of every month. It's coming up. It's coming up this Saturday. If you want it, I do teach class, so I'd love to see you there. And the QR code is here in the far right corner. If you want to check it out, hit that QR code to jump into class. I mistakenly thought it was last Saturday, but my team's got me corrected, so we got him. Everybody, thank you so much for jumping on in. We appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you. Shout out to my whole team and everyone that makes this show possible. Thank you to God and my team, my wife, and everyone that supports me as we continue to push every single day. I love you. I'll be here in the trading group. If you don't want me to go to cryptolifer.com and join the group. You'll be able to talk to me all day, baby. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys today in the group and tomorrow for the live stream. The secret to success is getting started. You've got to start somewhere. You've got to start. Once you start, things will start to go into place. The order will follow, but you must start.